to Kingston on your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
Central Hudson reminds you, when you're doing yard work, safety matters. If you use a ladder, be aware of overhead electric lines, including the service wire that runs to your house. Even wooden ladders can conduct electricity with dangerous results. And be very careful if there are electric lines above or near a swimming pool, and you're working with skimmers, brooms, or other long-handled tools. Central Hudson wishes you a safe summer.
Long ago, you wouldn't think of galloping on a horse while doing calligraphy, and you wouldn't have attempted to ride your bike while typing a letter. Yet you think you can safely operate a multi-ton vehicle while texting? Behind the wheel is no place to multitask. If you want to BRB, drive now and text later. Lives depend on it.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Hi, my name is Jackie Lovezzo. I'm from Lake Katrine, and I support the Kingston Community Radio because it is an invaluable resource to the community and its residents.
This programming is brought to you by the Friends of Kevin Cahill. As a strong advocate of local broadcasting, Assemblymember Cahill urges you to support Kingston Community Radio with your time and donations. Your contributions keep KCR vital and on the air at FM 92.5, AM 920, and on the web at mykcr.org. Please join Assemblymember Cahill and send your gifts of $10, $25, or more to Kingston Community Radio, Post Office Box 4364, Kingston, New York 12402. Together, let's keep KCR alive.
All right, you're on. Good morning. This is Rick Remsnyder, and Fran DePetrillo will be here very soon. How are you this morning, Lawrence?
I'm good. How are you, Rick?
Good. We have a couple good guests lined up from Opus 40 and at 7:30, and then at 8 we're going to be joined in the studio by Lisa Berger, Director of Tourism, and on the phone by Maria Totoro, who's going to tell us all about the Phoenicia International Festival of the Voice. You ever been to the Festival of the Voice?
Not in Phoenicia. No.
It's a great thing, really. You know, it started either 11 or 12 years ago in Phoenicia, but because of the pandemic the last 2 years, they had to hold it at Tech City outdoors, and they bring a stage in, and it's, you know, socially distanced and all that. But
not this year.
This year they are. Yeah, one more year.
One more year of social distancing? They didn't get the memo?
I think it was a little, we'll let Maria talk about that, but you know, there was still, when they had to make all the plans, it was still a little up in the air because they...
I hear you. Actually, this week, the other day, after Cuomo announced the thing, was the first time I didn't have to wear my mask in Market Basket. I've 15 straight months of wearing my mask in Market Basket, and finally they said if you're vaccinated, you can take them off.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well,
it's nice not having to go into the grocery store and wear them either. You know, when you're going shopping and stuff.
It's a little confusing because some of the places are still requiring masks, and some aren't.
If the people working there aren't wearing them, you don't have to wear one.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I notice, as you know, I go to Quick Check every morning, the one in Lake Katrine, and I would say 90% of the people are not wearing masks.
Yeah, they're probably the ones that have the shot.
Yeah.
You know, I was in the Ulster County office building, or, you know, we're DMV building yesterday, and it was the only sign that I've ever seen. Now, I didn't have my card on me, so I had a mask on me, but it says if you don't have a card, you got to wear a mask in here. Even if you have a shot, it says you have to show your card to go inside. Right. To not wear a mask. So I was just there picking up Lions glasses, you know, for Lions Club, and I didn't have my card on me. I leave it in my suitcase when I travel, when I'm at the airport or whatever. So I hadn't taken it out since the last time I traveled. So I was like, I don't have the card. I mean, I didn't have that app to pull up. I forgot.
Yeah, Excelsior Pass. You really need to get that. It's very easy.
No, I know. It is. It's a good thing.
Because you don't want to remember, you don't want to forget your, actually you don't want to lose that card. So
well, they have an app on the phone now that you get a barcode with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have it.
Yeah.
We went from Festival of the Voice to Market Basket to airlines. Is it?
No, we're talking about
COVID cards.
Lawrence went into DMV the other day, and he
Yesterday.
didn't have his card with him.
Yeah, and it says on the door you can't go in the building without, if you want to not wear a mask.
Oh,
You got to show your card, and I didn't have it on me, but I had a mask on me.
Oh, okay.
So,
So you got to go. So it's still good to keep a mask on you in those instances.
right.
Because if you don't have your card on you and you don't have a
That's the
mask.
first time that I've been asked. Let me see your card. No one's. Everybody's taking their word. People's word for it. Yeah, I got a shot. Okay, come on in.
Yeah, it's a little sketchy.
Yeah, I don't know that I believe everybody who's not
Yeah.
wearing a mask.
No.
I know the three of us have a shot, so we're good.
We have our shots.
We have our
Yep.
shots.
Thought that second one was going to kill me, but we have our shots. So Market Basket, can we go back to that? I love that place.
Yeah, me too.
You
I
go
eat
every
there
day.
too much, and it shows.
Yeah, but Colleen and
Kelly.
they're the best.
Yes.
I love that place. We should have them in if they weren't busy.
Yeah, you should.
But they're probably open and working already, aren't they?
But they did change their hours. They used to be open at like 6:37. Now they're only open from 8 to 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we'll have them as a 7 a.m. guest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
you could come in
All
for
right.
a half hour.
I'm going to
Yeah,
ask
sure.
them.
Yeah. I haven't been there for a while since, well, now that I'm retired, I'm not really going to Uptown Kingston too much. But it is a great place.
It's fantastic. Their specials are great. They're great. Their prices are great. I mean, that's one reason I'm glad to be back uptown.
Yeah, well, that's right. Well, for a while. I see the Freeman bought a building.
Yeah.
But
our move hasn't been approved, so.
Oh, it hasn't been approved.
No,
It has
no.
to be approved by the legislature?
Yes. So no move yet.
Oh, okay.
I know it's all the buzz, but yes, Freeman's moving. But that was going to be happening one way or the other.
I saw something that was really interesting in Hugh Reynolds' blog about a month ago, and he didn't identify the Freeman employee, but there was some issue. I don't want to go into the details because I don't have it in front of me, but there was an issue with one of the police departments didn't release some information that Hugh thought should be released, and so he saw a Freeman employee coming out of the Deet Stadium Diner. So he pulled up, rolled down his window, and goes, "Hey, when are you guys going to put the pressure on the police department?" And the guy said, "Us guys? We got 10 people in the entire plant. That's what it's down to now."
Yeah.
So, they're scrambling to, I don't know how many full-time reporters they have, but I think as far as news goes, the only ones that I believe, and somebody can correct me from the Freeman if they're listening, but the only bylines I see from full-time employees now are Paul Kirby and Pat Doxey, news, and I know Mike Strebel is sports, but, they have a lot of correspondence, but when I worked there in the good old days, we had tons of reporters, 3 full-time photographers, and now Tanya's the only photographer. So their staff is really cut way down. So you can only do so much when you have so few, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So what's going on with you this morning?
Oh, it's another beautiful day in Kingston, in Ulster County. It's gorgeous out. So we're into day of early voting.
Right.
So 3 more days, today, tomorrow, and Sunday. You can still go early vote. There's 4 locations. City of
How
Kingston.
many? Yeah, go ahead.
City of Kingston, Midtown Center, Woodstock Community Center, Saugerty Senior Center, and SUNY Ulster. Those are the 4 early voting sites, and they're still open today, tomorrow, and Sunday.
What has been
not
the turnout?
Monday.
I would
let's
imagine
see.
pretty light, right?
Yeah, we've probably had about 1,000, 1,200 voters so far. The polls opened last Saturday. But it's a very small primary, too, as
big
well.
races?
And it's Democratic, local, and 1 working families line. It's been pretty small, but it's out there. So go vote. Tuesday's the primary. Democratic primary.
So then the results will be Tuesday night, this coming Tuesday night?
Unofficial results, yes.
Because then you got to
Then
wait.
the ballots are counted. Unofficial results Tuesday night. And then primary will be done, and we look forward to November 2nd general election. But there'll be early voting for the general election as well.
The big races in November, I guess, countywide will be the comptroller, Marge Gallagher. I don't think she has any opposition yet. And, of course, the 23 county legislators, but I believe there's 5 or 6 that are no contest. In other words, there's no opposition. But any other big countywide races besides those? Obviously, the Kingston Common Council, all those seats, right?
Yes, Common Council, and I feel like there is one other, or possibly not.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
I know. I'm trying to think, and I should know. Let me think about that, and we'll come back to it. I don't want to give false information.
So we have a great guest coming in at 7:30, right?
Yes, Caroline from Opus 40. Over the last couple of years, Opus 40 has always been amazing for all the years that it's been open, but the last couple of years, they've really stepped up the activities and the programs and all the opportunities, and this lovely bruise on my arm.
What happened?
I know. I was trying to lift something out of the pool, and it was very heavy.
Oh.
And, of course, in the pool, it was fine. And then once it came out of the water, all the weight was on my arm. So, yeah, anyhow, for any YouTube watchers, yeah. Opus 40, I mean, it's just endless opportunities of things they have going on. It's why I have Caroline coming in, because there's so much I can't even. And then at 8 o'clock, 8 to 9, we have Maria Totoro calling in and Lisa Berger, Director of Tourism, coming in, right? That'll be a great hour. I'll have to miss some of it, but I can listen in once I head off to work.
Okay.
Phoenicia Festival of Voice will be here before you know it. Right?
Yeah.
Last weekend in August.
Yep.
I don't mean to wish the summer away, but
yeah, geez.
June's flying by. I feel like July is going to fly by.
I know, it's already June 18th.
I know. How could that be?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I know this will be the second year that the Festival of Voice is held at Tech City, and I know they have the portable stage, and I'll be interested to see how that is set up again this year. I know that this is either the 11th or the 12th year. We'll have Maria talk about that. But when I was a tourism director, I remember when Maria Luiotti and formerly associated with Carrie Henderson came into our office at 10 Westbrook Lane, and they talked about they had a one day with like 3 performances, I think, in Phoenicia. And from then it has just, blossomed into a tremendous event. I encourage anybody to please go to the one at Tech City when it comes up. It's just a one-day event. But I'm kind of partial to the one in Phoenicia because it's such a lovely setting there and right in the middle of the hamlet of Phoenicia, outdoors. And they've always been really fortunate. I've attended 4 or 5 of those, and they always have great live performances, and they've been blessed with good weather. But I'm sure with the pandemic and everything that, they had to, 100%, not 100% sure what they would be able to do this year. So at least they know that their performances will go off at Tech City. So, and Lisa, Lisa Berger has been working with Maria and Totoro and Luiotti. So she'll talk about the county participation in that. So that should be fun. And I see you looking for that race.
I know, and I came up with old news apparently. So
I want to tell you one thing about Opus 40.
Mm-hmm.
Many years ago, and Caroline can talk about that. They had live performances there. I'm hoping that's something they're going to do again, but we'll have to talk to her about that. But it's such a lovely setting amongst the rocks. I can't remember how many years ago, but John Sebastian performed there in concert, and I saw John there.
Wow. Yeah. They used to have big concerts there. Yep. Yeah. Right. Now they have smaller concerts.
Yeah.
But who knows what's in store.
But that whole story about how it was, constructed and everything, and we'll have Caroline go into that because she can talk about it in great detail. But I encourage anybody to go to that. And so the summer is finally percolating.
It is, yeah. So
Ulster County Fairs, that seems to be, I was checking the schedule the other day, that's going forward. The last day of July and the first 6 days of August. Want to call Gary Newkirk pretty soon, get him on and talk about that.
That'd be great.
And, of course, we have the Garlic Festival, the Woodstock New Paltz Crafts Fair on Labor Day. Did you get out there for the Memorial Day?
I did not. Did you?
No, I was going, but the weather, unfortunately, Saturday, Sunday was not good. And they did get a halfway decent day on Monday.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk to Lisa for a few minutes about the turnout.
She was there.
But I was thinking, geez, I felt so bad because they missed last year.
Yeah.
And then this year they moved to a little smaller venue, the Field of Dreams, actually considerably smaller. But I can remember, and you worked it a number of years with me and our staff, just 1 year in the 14 years that I worked it, or supervised it, I wasn't out there every year. I guess we should clear that up. Fran's going, hey, wait a minute, you weren't out there every year. Let's set it up.
I actually forgot
tore it
that
down.
part. Yeah.
But only one day in all those years was there a washout.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it was really bad. It was really coming down. And I remember it might have been part of that whole Irene or something. But remember when we had a bad week there and we had a lot of damage to the county. But we did have to pull the stakes there about 2 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
And Gary Newkirk, or not Gary Newkirk, Neil Rubenstein made the decision. But other than that, they've really, in all the years, they had a lot of great weather, so I felt bad for them coming back Memorial Day. So
They've had some extreme hot weather days.
Yeah.
Ironic, like just all of a sudden blasted with heat, and they did have some rain, but nothing where they had to close it down.
Yeah. It's really a high-end, I like to think of as a high-end fair, and a lot of great crafts and everything.
Yeah.
They have performances. The thing that I always liked about the Woodstock New Paltz Crafts Fair is that, and it's hard because they have Memorial Day and Labor Day, but they did a great job of with the vendors turning them over, so it wasn't the same old every year. You had always new people coming in.
Right.
New food vendors, but mostly new artisans, which was really good. So they did a great job. Mm-hmm. It's about 20 after 7. This is Rick Remsnyder with Fran DePetrillo. If anybody wants to call in, 331-9255, please do. I was hoping to hear from Brian Waltman. If you're out there, Brian, I'd love to hear from you because I wasn't here, obviously, last Friday. But I wondered why the scores were so high at the Hurtigan qualifier at Twaskill, with the exception of an unbelievable round by Patrick Bradley, shot 63. Unbelievable.
And he did the Hurtigan happen yet?
No, that was the qualifier.
That was the qualifying.
And he shot a 7 under 63, which is remarkable. But the scores were really high at the Hurtigan. I covered it for a number of years for the Freeman. I think the cut was 90, which has got to be one of the all-time high cuts. So I'd be interested to hear. I heard it was maybe a little breezy, but how breezy could it be if one guy shot 63? But but who knows? He must have been on fire. This is the week of the U.S. Open. for golfers out there. The first round was held yesterday at Torrey Pines. They didn't complete it, but because they had fog. There's a lot of fog on the West Coast. I mean, really, it was delayed for almost 2 hours.
Well, fog delay.
Was Dan watching? Or?
Yes, he was. I've heard a lot of golf. He DVRs it. I've heard a lot of golf in the house lately. Yeah.
Well, the thing of it is, it's on the West Coast, so, it's actually all day, and plus it's on NBC, has it on primetime. It goes from, the golf, it's on Peacock early, and then if you have that streaming service, and then Golf Channel takes over at 12:30, and then after the evening news, NBC carries it from 7 to 11 or something, or until the play is suspended, I guess. So a lot of great golf if you're a big golf fan. So the leader is Russell Henley, an unknown kind of guy. I'll make this prediction. He won't win.
Okay.
But Brooks Koepka, who has won the U.S. Open twice. Fran's going, oh, God, all this golf talk. But anyway.
No, because Brooks Koepka is, who is he, who's not playing well in the sandbox these days?
Oh, him and Bryson DeChambeau.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about that, Lawrence? Do you follow that whole thing?
No, I don't. I only watch golf when it's... Wait, is the Tour Championship this weekend?
Oh, my God.
U.S. Open?
This
US
guy...
Open.
U.S. Open. No, the
Yeah, I
Tour
don't really
Championship's at the end of the
I used to play
year.
golf all the time when I was in my late 20s, early 30s. I don't really play that much anymore.
I brought him...
I got them. They're on my desk.
sleeve of Ulster County, former Ulster County Alive.com golf
He
balls.
still has them.
I do. In the box.
That's okay. You can display them proudly, but...
No, I mean, I do. I really don't have time to play golf, or I would go out there and do it,
Yeah, I know.
And I don't have a lot of friends that play it anymore either. That's the big thing. A few of them moved out away. And like I said, I used to play all the time at night at Green Acres during the summer, 6, 7 years ago.
Yep.
I just don't play that much anymore. My friend Javier moved on. He lives in the city now. And my other friend, he doesn't even play golf anymore. So it's just me and my clubs. And sometimes when my uncle comes down to visit for Giant games, we'll go shoot 9.
I'm getting you out this year.
There you go.
I'm getting you out. You mentioned Green Acres. I'll be there at 9:15. Not that anybody cares, but course is in wonderful shape. Brian Bonesteel, I can't say this enough. Folks, if you really want to have an enjoyable 9 or 18 holes, and it used to be called, the nickname was Easy Acres.
Oh.
It's no longer easy because there's water, and he's tight.
Water? Where's their water?
Okay, let me see. The second hole and the third hole, there's a pond between them now. The
Really?
par 4, little dog leg to the right.
Yeah.
And then the par 3 coming up, so there's water there. He also has water on the 6th hole, which it's still a drivable par 4.
What, that long 5, you mean? That part, there isn't a par 5 there, is
No,
there?
there's 2 par 5s back to back, 4 and 5, and then 6 is a short par 4, but he opened up some water there.
Where that stream was?
Yeah. It
Okay.
created a pond, not only for the tee shot on 6, but he built a new par 3 on 7, and it's really like about 190 yards, and to get it close to the pin, you have to hit it over the water. He's done a great job there.
How much does it cost to play golf there now for 9 holes?
Well, it depends when you go and all that. So I think you can probably play 9 if you're walking. I think maybe 15.
No walking.
Okay, cart. It's probably like
$20?
Yeah,
That's not
probably
bad.
9 and 20 and 35 for 18, depending on the time. It's very affordable. So
That's not bad at all.
And the new, so it's great job by Brian and his team.
I have a silly question.
Yeah.
Is it a 9-hole course?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And I did get out to play Innis, which used to be the old Rondout.
Oh.
And there's
Accord?
So that's reopened?
Yes. It's a 9-hole course. It's designed by the guys that designed a course in Tennessee called Sweetens Cove. It's ranked number 1 in the top 100 by Golf Week in the United States. And they've done a phenomenal job out there. Some of the routing is similar to the old Rondout, but what they did was create these unbelievable mounding greens. It's almost like a mountain on some of these holes. They have double greens. It's quite an experience. It's a little pricey, but and it's all part of that complex. There's a resort out at Rondout. And we need to get John DeForest, the head pro. He's going to come on one of these days, and he's going to talk about the whole thing. But there's a lot of buzz, not only in Ulster County, but there's these golfers from all over the country that have played Sweetens Cove, which is phenomenal and is really nationally recognized, as I mentioned. I've seen articles in Golf Magazine and Golf Digest and all these magazines about it. They're actually, when I was out there a couple weeks ago, John told me the course wasn't even open. They already had 150 emails, mostly from people out of state, want to know when they could get out there and play that course.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was reopened.
Yep.
That's great.
So it's they've done a wonderful job. It's in great condition. It's challenging, though. It's not. I'll let people when they go out there let me know what they think, because those greens are pretty severe. So it should be a lot of fun. But it's nice that that golf course has reopened, because we lost so many golf courses.
Yeah.
So Hudson Valley Resort's not open anymore, and we lost. What else did we lose? Well, we lost Rondout for a while.
What about Lazy Swan?
Lazy Swan is still not open. I keep hearing that it's going to open in July or August. So I went by there the other day. There's still the for sale sign out there. But I did run into the owner, Tony Bakke, at one of our favorite spots, the parking lot of the Port Ewan Diner.
Uh-huh.
And he told me that he had retired and he was going to reopen Lazy Swan. So there are some workers out there, but we'll see. There's a lot of work to be done yet, because when you close a course, it's been closed for 18 months or more. So they are cutting the grass, they're fertilizing the greens. So I anticipate they will be open. So anyway, I guess we're going up against a break, and so let's throw it over to Lawrence Maxwell, and hopefully we'll have our guest coming in about 1 minute.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
Swimming pools are great for family fun, and Central Hudson wants you to play it safe. Never operate an electric appliance next to or in the pool. Be sure pool motors and filters are grounded. Have them installed by a professional and serviced by a licensed professional electrician. Be very careful if there are electric lines above or near a pool, especially if using long-handled cleaning tools. And if a storm is nearby, get out of the water. Your safety matters.
Hi, I'm Steve Thomas for Habitat for Humanity Restore. Habitat Restores are nonprofit home improvement stores and donation centers that sell new and gently used furniture, building materials, and appliances to the public at a fraction of the retail cost. The Ulster County Restore at 406 Route 28 in Kingston needs your donations. Call our hotline at 845-853-7499 to schedule your free pickup. And thanks.
Everyone is talking about healthcare these days. America spends twice that of other developed countries on our healthcare system, yet our health ranks near the bottom. How can we stop spending so much and getting so little? By shifting to a system that gives more patients access to strong primary care. Primary care can help make America healthy again. To learn more about the benefits of primary care, visit www.healthisprimary.org. This message is brought to you by America's Family Physicians.
Screening exams for breast, lung, or colorectal cancers are necessary to detect and treat disease at its earliest, most curable stage. But you may have some concerns and questions. Answer your questions and ease your fears by visiting radiologyinfo.org. In addition to information on screening and wellness, you'll find more than 200 descriptions of radiologic exams, procedures, and treatments to help you prepare. Get informed and be prepared. Visit radiologyinfo.org. Produced by the Radiological Society of North America and the American College of Radiology.
Hi, this is Jared Mans from the Spring Lake Fire Department, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio has been brought to you by the First Savings Bank in Ulster County that still remains local to this day. Ulster Savings Bank, a community bank that's invested in local business, invested in community, invested in you. Ulster Savings Bank, your one-stop resource for everything local. Locations throughout the Hudson Valley and online at ulstersavings.com. Member FDIC.
All right, we're back. This is Rick Remsnyder with Fran DePetrillo. We'll have a guest in momentarily, I'm hoping. It's a beautiful day out there, Lawrence. Hey, I wanted to ask...
It's a little humid today, though, folks.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. You'll be okay. You're teeing off at 9:15. You're good. But, yeah, these next couple days, I was just looking at the weather. I think it's 91 on Saturday or Sunday. But then it's going to start cooling off a little next week. We're getting some rain in the middle of the week next week, but do you see that heat wave that went on yesterday in Tucson, Arizona? It was 118.
Oh, my God.
I was like, God, man, that's
unreal.
I lived in South Florida for 8 years, and it never got above 99, but the humidity was always 100%. And it's pretty unbearable, but 118 degrees, I don't care if it's dry heat.
Right.
I mean, 118 is 118. I mean.
I know.
So that's pretty warm. That's where the forest fires come from, are those 118-degree days. I don't know if California's having that yet, or I don't know how that works in California, but when they have forest fires every year, I guess when they're talking about global warming, that's what they mean. Jeez.
I don't know how people do it. I mean, it's unreal.
It is.
Well, I wanted to ask you about, are you all set with your Giants tickets? I saw it yesterday.
Yeah, I'm going to six home games this year, and five. I'm going to 6 home games and 2 away games.
Where you going, Philly? And
no, I would never go to Philly. Are you crazy? No, they're playing twice in Florida this year.
Oh.
They're playing Miami and they're playing the Bucks. I'm definitely going to the Miami game. The Bucks game is a Monday night game. I'm not a night game person anymore, but we've already got the tickets for the Miami game. I used to live in Fort Lauderdale. I missed them the last time around. So how they're having that 17-game schedule this year. The Giants, I don't know if it goes into a raffle, it goes into a draw. They got picked to play the Dolphins in Miami, so that's actually not even in Miami. The stadium's actually in Pembroke Pines, which is not far from where I stay in Coconut Creek or Fort Lauderdale. So we're going to go to that. Did you find your guest?
No, I went down to the parking lot and everything.
Wow. That's dedication, Rick. Go find your guest in the parking lot?
I did feel like I was tracking her down.
Maybe she's at 82 John Street.
I gave the address.
No, I know.
Okay.
The reason I said that is earlier this week, we had a guest on that hadn't been to the new studio yet. They went to John Street, and we're like, he's like, I'm outside, I'm banging on the door.
Oh.
We're like, dude.
Is that building just vacant now?
15 months ago. No, he just hadn't been around in a while, so he just assumed that we were still at 82 John Street.
No, I mean, but has anybody taken over your space there yet? Or
No. I walk by it. I see that rough draft is still there, but I mean, we would have stayed if there was potential. But the roof still looks like it has a hole in it. So I don't know. I don't want to. The guy who owns the building, I don't particularly care for. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that is, and Fran can talk about this, is concerning.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say that. It's just that everywhere you go, there's signs for people needing employees, and I know that.
God, especially in the restaurant business.
Well, Are we going to be talking to Lisa Berger about that as well? Because
especially every restaurant's got a sign at the front door. We need servers, we need bussers, we need line cooks, we need bartenders. And I live above Santa Fe, and they have since I've been living there for 3 or 4 years, the same people have been working there. They still need more people.
Yeah. Right.
A lot of people are not coming back to work.
I know.
I don't know what the excuse for it is, but Stella's, if you walk around uptown, everybody is looking for help.
Yeah.
And apparently in New York City, it's the same way, so.
I know.
When's that thing end with the extra $600? July 1st, right?
Oh, when does that end?
I think it was actually extended into September.
Oh, come on. Are you serious?
No, I'm serious.
After July 1st now?
I think you can get it into September.
Oh, my God.
Well, now would be the time to seize the opportunity to get the job you want at the place you want because
Oh, that's true.
you know
Yeah.
like get in now, get the job because come September then you're going to need that job and you're going to wish it was open. And really June, July, August are going to be the September, October also going to be the big months to make money, especially in the service industry as far as like crowds coming in and the population and people being
I'm reading the New York Post this morning. There's a restaurant in Soho that needs 35 employees.
Wow.
If they meet the qualifications and requirements to sign on, they each get $1,000 sign-on bonus, cash, on the spot for just saying, yeah, okay, I'll work here. I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
that's how desperate they are.
Yep, it's
so
the
they need
time.
35 employees. They're going to give $35,000 away just to get 35 employees.
Yeah.
I know.
The Ulster County Regional Chamber of Commerce did a virtual job fair recently before things opened up, and people really need good help. It's hard to find, and it's every industry really. It's not just hospitality, but Mohonk had I think like 100 positions available.
Really, Mohonk
and
Mountain House?
There's an incredible place to work.
Yeah,
they had like 100 positions available,
and they'll give you room and board usually too. They have the things set up in the back where some employees live. That, you know what Mohonk Mountain House reminds me of is that movie Dirty Dancing, where all the employees live up on the on the mountain. That was shot. Was that shot in New York? Where was that shot in?
Oh yeah, a lot of it was shot in Sullivan County.
Oh, it was?
One of the resorts there, I don't believe it's open anymore. But
not the Concord.
No, it wasn't the Concord. I think it was maybe. I'm going to take a wild guess here, the Pines, but it's closed now. But some resort like that.
Mm-hmm.
Since we have some time to kill here, since we're waiting for our guest, talking about Dirty Dancing. When I worked for a newspaper in Westchester County called the Journal News, one of my jobs was we created a golf magazine, and it was called Suburban Golf. And if people are tired of hearing my stories and they want to talk about something else, they can call in at 331-9255. So every month, we used to have a celebrity. I would play golf with them. And one time, I was able to get Jerry Orbach, who was like one of the main characters of Dirty Dancing, but he went on to, obviously, the police, what's the police drama with all the different shows? I should know this before I go into this story, but...
currently on TV?
Yeah, there's
like
all kind.
Chicago PD?
No, it's the one with like 6 different iterations.
Oh.
But anyway.
Law and Order?
Law and Order.
Okay.
He was on like the original Law and Order. So I got to play golf with Jerry Orbach. And unfortunately he passed away not that long ago. What a great guy he was. And for a celebrity, he wasn't a great golfer, but he was just one of these humble guys. And so one thing I always learned, though, you know how you pose for pictures at cocktail parties and stuff like that? He told me, so we played 18 holes of golf, we had dinner or something, then we went to we're having a drink afterwards or something, and so my photographer, who took a bunch of photos of Jerry and me playing golf, but mostly Jerry, of course, because that's who we're featuring, and he said, here, I want to get, a picture of Rick and you, Jerry, and so I was drinking at that point. I no longer drink, as you know. So I had a glass of wine, and he says, here's a little tip. When we take this photo, don't have the glass of wine, because show it in the picture, because years later, it just doesn't look that great, Mm-hmm. So that was something that, that's a very good tip, but that's how, comfortable he was in those situations. And, people coming up for autographs and stuff, he couldn't have been nicer, but... But yeah, he was great in Law and Order. I liked the original cast of Law and Order, and he was one of the detectives. So
what was his name?
Jerry Orbach. He was like the father of.
He was the father. He was Baby's father.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was also the cop on Law and Order, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now I'm getting a text from my girlfriend. Thank you, Tamara Murray.
She's fact checking.
Yeah,
for
she's
us.
actually fact checking, which is nice. The Catskills served as the setting for Baby and Johnny's memorable, yes, babe, I know, Law and Order, I did get that part eventually, The Catskill served as a setting for Baby and Johnny's memorable summer and Dirty Dancing, but the Mountain Lake Lodge in Pembroke, Virginia was actually the actual filming
Actually wasn't
resort.
filmed here. I did just see that.
But they acted like it was upstate New York, but it was actually in Virginia.
They pretended it was the Catskills.
What was the name of the place? Kellerman's, right?
Yes, Kellerman's, yeah.
Kellerman's,
The
yeah.
fictional place in the Catskill was called Kellerman's.
Yep,
I remember
Kellerman's
most
Resort.
of the
Here it
people
is,
were
as we're
Jewish
going
too,
down
right?
Down the line.
But there really wasn't a Kellerman's.
No, God no.
So, anyway.
Sullivan County, the home of Gavin DeGraw, if anybody's a Gavin fan.
I'm not. Who's that?
He's a singer.
Oh, okay. He's a singer.
Do you know who Gavin DeGraw is?
Say that again.
Gavin DeGraw, do you know who he is?
Is he a country singer?
No.
I was going to say that, too.
I don't. But he sounds like one.
I know, yeah. Well, he grew up in Sullivan County, so he ended up
Who
with
is
a
he?
country name. Yeah, Google him. He's good. He's,
I don't- my phone's on my
he's very
desk, I don't
popular.
Oh.
But I don't know why nobody knows him, but he's from Sullivan County.
Oh, okay. I want to give a shout out. We were talking about restaurants and having problems with employees and staffing and that. Had dinner, my girlfriend and I, about 2 weeks ago at the River Pavilion in Hutton Brickyards. Have you been down there yet?
No, and I missed my opportunity. I was supposed to go with Jess from the Ulster County Regional Chamber of Commerce. So how was it?
Great. It's a beautiful setting. And the entrees, at this particular point, it's rather limited. I think there's 5 entrees. But just to be down there on the water, and it's right, where Hutton Brickyards is, you got a great view of the water, and the tables are basically as close as they can get. And so it wasn't, it was a weeknight or something, I believe, but maybe it was a Friday, I don't remember, but it wasn't overly busy and the service was great. So then last week, I decided the agency for Ulster County Tourism was coming in, and but that was for another time. But anyway, we wanted to go, we're thinking about going there, having them there for dinner. They were here yesterday. It's called Bilo. And we called 2 or 3 days in advance to get a reservation at the River Pavilion during the week. The earliest they had was 9:30.
Oh.
So word is spreading.
Wow, I guess so.
There's not many places in Ulster County, unless you want to go to a diner, that you can start.
Weeknight.
Yeah,
9:30.
Like
Good for
Mariners, the kitchen closes at 8:30 because that was the next choice. So
Really? At 8:30 it closes?
Well, that's during the week, yeah.
Kitchen, yeah.
Oh, during the week. Okay, because it could be like that on the weekend, though.
Yeah, no, this is during the week. So,
Okay,
So you
yeah,
ended
that-
up at
that
Santa
makes-
Fe, uptown?
yeah, I went over there just for a little iced tea because I couldn't stay for the evening. So, wasn't Long Island either.
Nope.
You ever have Long Island iced tea?
I have.
Yeah, I have them every Saturday. They're killer.
Wow.
But you got to be careful with them things, man.
I know.
Because there's like 5 different alcohols in there.
I found that out one night.
You got to
Yeah.
you got to sip them.
Yeah, I kind of found out the hard way, too.
And they don't
because
taste like alcohol either.
No, they taste like iced tea,
They
and
taste like
that's
iced
how you
tea,
find
yeah.
out
They're
the
very
hard way.
tasty,
They're
yeah.
very
Yeah,
good,
they are.
yeah.
But
They are, but-
I would highly recommend.
River Pavilion is
Yeah.
also looking for servers and bartenders.
Oh, they are,
Mhm,
and they've done a great job with the. I don't want to describe them as cabins, but they're nice little facilities they have there, accommodations, and they're also very close to the water, a great view, and they're. I think the expectation is eventually that space where they had Bob Dylan perform a couple times. It's a great space there, so I'm not going to be surprised to maybe
You mean
not
down
this
by the
year.
Brickyard, you mean? Did
Huh?
they perform down there?
Yeah,
Down by the Brickyard?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I could. That would be a fantastic place for a number of concerts. I know UPAC had Dylan there a couple times, and so anyway, and that's I would highly recommend among our many great restaurants, the River Pavilion at Hutton Brickyards. So, and I'm a little finicky. And the food was excellent.
Oh, very good.
And the service couldn't have been better, and the people are very nice. Obviously, they're trained in hospitality. They know what they're doing.
Right. The owners have various places other than this. So I think they know what they're doing.
Yeah. So that's something that I would tell people.
That's great.
But call early because.
Yeah, I guess so.
9:30 was the earliest could get on a Thursday evening. Wow. So.
What'd you have?
I believe. Let me see. What did I have? I believe I had salmon, but it was very good.
Good. All right, I'm gonna have to go check it out. River Pavilion at Hutton Brickyard.
Yeah.
But call in advance.
Yeah, definitely do that.
Need a reservation, even on a weeknight.
Yeah, no. So I'm glad to see they're doing well. Things have been busy uptown in your travels during.
Everything is. Yeah, restaurants are busy. Everything is busy. I've even noticed more people at the grocery store since Governor Cuomo has lifted the indoor masks and all that. There's a lot more people out too.
Yeah. Well, we hit the 70% threshold on the first shot, the first vaccination. So a lot of, that's pretty much everything's, not everything, but most things are open. And I know I got an email from the Jets because I'm a Jets fan. Don't ask me why.
I knew must have been something wrong about you.
Well, yes.
Oh, that's right. You like the Jets, the Nets.
And the Mets. Yeah, so it's kind of. I'm not a big Jets fan, but
that's
I still like the Giants. But I got an email from them that, obviously tickets are available for the Jets because they're so horrible. But it was max capacity, 100%.
Yeah, they're at full capacity, but you got to have remember, now we're not going until September. So you still got it's not even summer yet. It's not going to be summer till Monday, technically.
Right.
So you have to have a card or like the thing we got.
Yep. Excelsior Pass.
You got to have that or the card to get into the stadium. They're not going to do what the Yankees are doing. They're not going to segregate half the stadium and put vaccinated people on one side, unvaccinated people on the other. They're saying by September everyone should have a shot, or at least one shot.
Yeah.
But you got to have that card to go. And I know a couple of my friends that are season ticket holders. They're already trying to sell their season tickets because they don't want to get a shot. I'm like, don't you want to go back to Giant games? And they like the Giants just as much as I do and have been going for many, many years. But I don't know what their reasoning is for that. Why wouldn't you just get the thing? And the worst case scenario, I had a bad headache for like 4 or 5 days. That was my side effect. Fran didn't feel well for a couple days.
I agree.
I think it's an individual matter of preference. I think there are some people that are concerned,
it's
down the road, what?
Right.
There are these rare cases, though, where there are complications. I was watching something the other day, and a family, and I'm vaccinated, and, I think everybody, they should strongly consider it, check with their physician, but there was a case where a young teenage athlete came up, after the first shot, developed some complications, and he was in the hospital with some blood clots. And then his father was, same thing, and had like 100 blood clots, and thank goodness they both survived. But you hear those rare things, the percentage is low, but people see that and they get scared.
It's their choice. If they don't want to get one, hey, they don't have to get one.
Yeah.
But let me ask you guys, before we even knew what COVID was, did you guys get a flu shot on the regular every year?
Yeah, I do. Flu.
I did, yeah. I mean, only because I've known people that had the flu, and I'm like, I'm not getting that. I know other people that haven't. Now, I'm not 50 yet, but when I do, I will get it. I had a friend of mine in Lions Club that got shingles, and you can't get that vaccine until you're 50. And apparently that is some pretty bad stuff.
It is. It's bad.
Yeah, and so another Lions member's wife had it. She couldn't get out of bed for like 3 weeks in so much pain, like in her chest, all around. So very, very upsetting. So I'm definitely going to be getting that.
Right. You should. I know. I got my shingle shot last year, and a good friend of mine, I won't mention him on the air, but he has really struggled with shingles.
And this person was like tough as nails, and I was like, God, if he's having a tough time with it, then, Fran, you got a lot of birthdays there?
Yeah.
You know what? Then let's rip them off right now.
Yeah, that way we can,
we got
8 o'clock.
It looks like she's got quite a few there.
I know. I'm just going to hog the whole birthday.
Fran is
thing.
very
Go
good
ahead.
at the birthday.
Let it rip, Fran.
I'm going to finish my bagel while you do that.
So today's Friday, June 18th. It's
Give her the bell, Rick.
Give me the bell. Friday, June 18th.
Or you before that'll be the other one. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Okay. Happy birthday to Leslie Rice from Family and Friends. Happy birthday, Leslie, June 18th. Leslie Rice. And this is a fancy one. Birthday wishes. On Friday, June 18th, 2021, please wish our beautiful daughter, Carlin West, who turns into an official senior citizen, OMG, a happy milestone 65th birthday. Is that how old you are to be a senior citizen?
I believe 65 is the senior mark.
All right.
You know,
Rick, you want to clarify that for us?
Or what is it? What's the one? AARP, you can be like 55, I think.
Oh, really?
Or 50.
Yeah.
I think 50 ARP.
It's all a money
so
grab.
not
you
to
know, by
detract.
AARP.
Friday, June 18th, 2021. Please wish our beautiful daughter, Carlin West, who turns 65, a happy milestone birthday. Love, Mom and Pop, George and Camille Fisher. Is it Cammy or Camille?
It's Cammy, actually.
Oh, it's Cammy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, George and Cammy they live in New Paltz. They're listening right now. They're faithful
I'm so
listeners.
sorry. I know a
and
French
they donate a
girl
lot of
named-
money to KCR as well. So
Okay. I know a French girl named Camille, and she goes by Camille. So I'm so sorry,
Oh,
Cammy.
okay, well,
George
good.
and Cammy Fisher. It's your daughter, Carlin West's 65th birthday. Happy birthday.
Congratulations. That's a milestone.
And for June 18th,
the winner was the one you just announced?
Leslie Rice. June 18th is
happy
the
birthday,
winner
Leslie.
of the cow pie.
Congratulations.
So Friday's done.
Friday is done. Yeah.
Wow. Last week we had no birthdays.
Really?
Yeah,
Somebody
on
entered
Friday.
my new boss, in for his birthday on Monday, but he didn't win the cow pie. Our office was very disappointed because we think he would have shared.
Oh.
Well, what happens, and I'll tell you how it works. And Jim gave me his father put his thing in, and on Friday when he was here a week ago, and there was already a winner for Tuesday because John's was Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Was
So
it
what
Tuesday?
happened was someone put whoever's birthday comes first for that day. That I probably
That's the
shouldn't even be
win.
announced. That's who becomes the winner. So whoever gets in first,
Get your
gets the
birthday in early.
Yeah, gets the cow pie.
All right, tomorrow is Saturday, June 19th, and please wish a happy birthday to Ruth Martin from your friends at the Wellness and Healthy Lifestyle Club. Happy birthday, Ruth Martin, June 19th. And looking like Ruth is the only entry for Saturday, Ruth Martin, you are the winner of the Boyce Dairy Milk House cow pie, courtesy of Boyce Dairy Milk House and Kingston Community Radio. So they head on down to Boyce Brothers Dairy at 62 O'Neill Street to collect that, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
I know this is
I
annoying, but
recommend you get the Butterfinger one because that's the. I mean,
Oh.
there's hundreds, there's different, all kinds, but the Butterfinger one is like.
I
good,
haven't
man.
made it to Boyce's yet this season. Like, it's time to go.
It is, and they got the best eggnog in the world too.
They have
but
the
that
best eggnog.
We're a
They
little
have-
ways away from that.
They even have the best sour cream.
Yeah, that's Cameron Rylance. Like, it's like he's like, I won't eat any other sour cream, but.
Thank you,
Boyce
Cameron.
Brothers.
I agree.
It's that good, but you got to eat it like pretty fast.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Same with the half and half. You can't keep that around in the refrigerator for like a week.
This is true.
You got to get rid of. I mean,
Got to
but
use it quick because it's fresh.
That's
There's
right.
the trick
It's
to it,
fresh.
people. Your stuff that's lasting forever.
Yeah.
Well, that's enough said about that. Okay, Sunday, June 20th. Please wish a happy 67th anniversary to Helen and Charlie Karsten of New Paltz from your friends and family, children Karen and Steve, Tim and Kathy, and Philip, 8 grandchildren and 10 great-grands. Happy anniversary, Helen and Charlie Karsten.
I actually know Helen Karsten.
All right, well, it is her 67th anniversary.
Wow.
That's incredible. All right, congratulations to them on that. And a happy 18th birthday to Kayla Lober on June 20th. Love, Diane. And the winner of the cow pie from Boyce Dairy Milk House is Kayla Lober. So go on to 62 O'Neill Street and collect your cow pie from Boyce Dairy Milk House and Kingston Community Radio. Congratulations, Kayla.
A lot of birthdays.
Yeah, a lot of birthdays. That's good.
Yeah, good
We're starting
stuff.
to pick up on birthdays. I just got a whole ton of them in this week. Christine Hine just sent some in. We just got some more yesterday in the mailbox.
Very good.
So yeah, we were for like 10 days we had like no birthdays, and it was like, so even the host looked forward to doing the birthdays. So we have a host on Wednesday that when he doesn't have birthdays, he's like, I can't believe you guys are passing up a free cow pie. Like, so happy birthday to everyone. All right, so you guys want to take a break right now, and then we'll come back with Lisa?
Sure, we'll have
Lisa.
Lisa Berger from Ulster Tourism and Maria Totoro calling in from Festival of Voice.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
Central Hudson reminds you that summer thunderstorms can strike with strong, gusty winds, knocking down trees and power lines. If you see a downed power line, call 911 immediately to report it. Power lines can carry an electric current strong enough to cause injury or death. Stay at least 30 feet away from a fallen line. Don't try to move it or anything that has come in contact with it. And never drive over a power line. Remember, your safety matters.
There was this one time I went snorkeling in the Caribbean when I was a kid. It really just blew my mind. We saw the most beautiful corals. I remember thinking they were waving at us as they moved with the ocean. And then there were all these amazing fish. I'll never forget it. It completely changed the way I look at the ocean.
Most of us have a memory of being in nature we'll never forget. Let's protect the world's natural places so more memories can be made for generations to come. Visit worldwildlife.org.
Have you ever experienced a wish come true? For a child battling a critical illness, a wish come true can be a turning point. One song, one dance, one game, one adventure, one moment changes everything. Make-A-Wish needs your support to grant the wish of every eligible child. Visit wish.org now to help grant more life-changing wishes. Together, we can transform lives, one wish at a time.
This is the story of Daniel, who was born 2 months early. His lungs weren't ready. His heart wasn't ready. His parents could only hope that one day he would leave the hospital healthy, and they would all live happily ever after. Daniel's is just one of the more than 500,000 stories of babies born prematurely last year. You can help the March of Dimes stop premature birth and bring more babies home healthy. Learn how at marchofdimes.com. Working together for stronger, healthier babies.
Hi, this is Winnie from the Rosendale Seniors, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Ulster Savings Bank. Visit their newest branch, conveniently located at the Ulster Commons Plaza in Lake Katrine. Experience the difference that local community banking offers with the convenience of another great location, easy access, plenty of parking, and a 24-hour ATM. Ulster Savings Bank, invested in community, invested in you. Member FDIC.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, we're back. This is Rick Remsnyder with Fran DePetrillo. It's Friday, June 18th. Beautiful day out there. It's going to get to about 80 degrees. And now I'm ready to welcome one of my all-time favorite people, not only in Ulster County, but the world at large, Maria Totoro of the Phoenicia Festival of the Voice. How are you this morning, Maria?
Hi, Rick. It's so wonderful to be with you. I'm absolutely thrilled to spend time with you.
Good morning, Maria. Hi, Fran's here too.
Hey, Fran. Oh, that's wonderful. Yes,
Nice
I'm excited to be with the two of you and ready.
Yes, and we'll have Lisa Berger joining us soon.
Wonderful.
So just as a little background, what year will this be of the Phoenicia International Festival of Voice, Maria?
The year was 2009. It's been now almost 12 years.
So this is the 12th one, right?
Yes.
Wow.
It is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And we still standing and growing and advocating, innovating from our grounds. We're still here. We're still here, and we're still strong.
I can remember, and it was either 2009 or 2010. I know you had 1 year, the initial one when it was just one day, and I got a call when we were at Ulster County Tourism was at Westbrook Lane, and I got a call.
Lisa, actually, yeah.
What's that?
Lisa was with us too. That's
right. Lisa, who will be joining us, was my deputy, and I got this call from someone who, or actually my secretary at the time, Phyllis McCabe, said, well, I have a call here from someone from the Phoenicia International Festival of Voice. I said, what's that?
The who? Yeah, exactly. The what?
And
I remember this so vividly, Eric. It was amazing. You were so warm, so welcoming, so open-minded. You and both Lisa were so encouraging. I remember so vividly this first encounter.
Well, how could we not when we had 3 world-class performers living in the hamlet of Phoenicia or close by? Your husband, Louis Odie, and of course,
we were a fine group of people, and Justin Kolb and Barbara Kolb, our co-founders, also Justin being an international pianist and Barbara being an artist herself. It was a good group of people starting this whole thing. You're right. Yeah. And we remember how we started. We started because the community here in Phoenicia asked us to put a fundraiser together to raise money for the playground equipment in the park and field.
Right.
And there was a bunch of moms, local moms here that came. Heather Roberts was the one who initiated all this, and physical therapist, local physical therapist. And she came and she said, hey, we know you're singers. You sing opera, you sing, we'd like to raise, a substantial sum of money for the playground equipment here for the kids. Would you do something? And it was like so weird because where? There's no opera house, sure, of course, we'll try. And so I remember talking to a few people. We got a piano donated, Justin played. We built a choir for the occasion with the people in town and around, and we said, I'm going to donate 4 or 5 hours of training, and then you can sing 2 songs. And it was Carmen, I remember. You can sing 2 songs with me on stage, and thinking that, if we had people on stage with us, then they will invite their husbands, wives, grandma, whatever, and we will have an audience. But it became, the choir was about, 80 people right away. And then we had about 800 people under the rain that came to see an opera under a tent with plywood on the grass in the little park of Phoenicia. It was just so, surreal. And from that point, we start bugging you every year in your office, and always, when you were at tourism, you've always been so supportive. And I think that you and Lisa and Fran, and really, you really understood the importance of the art. I was having a conversation not such a long time ago in Albany, actually, and it's very interesting how, I was told that, from all that we have so many sport teams in New York State, and when you combine all the professional sports teams and everything sport-wise, once Broadway collapsed last year, it was the loss was superior to all the loss that the sport has brought. I wasn't aware of this. I always thought that sport and art were at the same level on an economical level. You know what I mean? But I was told, and we have data that says that the arts have brought to the United States more money than sports, and specifically Broadway in New York, the art. So you always understood that, You always understood the importance to nurture performing art in Ulster County. I've always felt so encouraged, and the proof is still in the pudding. Look at me being talking about it here, and I'm so grateful for all that you did, you, Fran, Lisa, and I'll tell her when she comes again. It's an adventure. It's a wonderful adventure to be putting an opera festival in our hood. You know,
your hood, yeah. Well, it's been our pleasure. I appreciate the kind words, but you and Louis and the entire team, of course, when Carrie was involved, to bring not only world-class opera to our county, but it's helped a lot economically, obviously, in the Route 28 corridor and up there, which needed it. So, and the response, I can remember one year, your second or third year, and coming back after the performance, there was a line of cars on 28 going back to Kingston, which really showed that you guys had not only attracted people from your own community, but from the county and outside the county. So it was a win-win situation. So all kudos to you. What I want to ask, maybe the listeners don't know, how were you able to convince the unbelievable talent that you have performing to come and perform in our county in these shows?
Rick, it's not that hard. The talent that we have, first of all, the area that we have is absolutely stunning. It's 2 hours from New York City. I mean, I'm not going to tell you those things, you know them by heart, but it's we convinced them at first because they were our friends. Well, at first, okay, and that's really the magic of Louis, who put incredible artistic cast together. And his reputation in the world. Louis is a world-class international artist that had been commingling with the greatest singers. I mean, name it, Domingo, Pavarotti, Sutherland, all those guys. Louis has sang with them in the most prestigious international stage, Covent Garden, San Francisco, the Met. So he had the portfolio, I would say, of exquisite artists. And we started with our friends, and very quickly, and they fell in love. They came here, they fell in love with the spirit. There is a uniqueness of our area, of course, the beauty, but there's a very unique spirit on which we work. And when we started, I don't know if you recall, that was right, because we do everything backwards. We started right in the midst of the economical crisis. So when everybody was shutting down and money was like diminishing for the arts everywhere, this is when we say, hey, we're going to put a festival together.
Yeah, great idea.
In the middle of nowhere, with and when I said nowhere, I mean, with the beauty, all the beauty that we have, but technically, we were in the middle of the woods, where there's not an audience, a built-in audience for opera, where there's no theater, certainly. So we're like, hey, we're going to take the hardest scenario, and we're just going to do it. And so they just, I think, the first people were our friends, and then they came here, they saw the community. I have 189 volunteers in a village of 300. It's insane. It's never seen in the history of 189 volunteers in a village of 300. The whole village participates. It's a real, the adage saying it takes a village. We are the perfect example of this. And so you feel the warmth. When you come here, there's something extraordinary healing. Yes, for the audience that comes see the shows and the excellence of the artists that we bring in our backyard here. And those are superstars. But there's something extraordinarily healing also for our guest artists that come in this area, that feel the love and the appreciation that we give. They are fed by homemade meals by volunteers that only job is to cook for them. Then we have a lot of different educational programs, so there's a lot of youth involved, and that youth is eager to learn, eager to So at first we thought that it would be extraordinary for a young artist or a young local kid that is working backstage with us, because we actually have one of the best in the world. We have one of the best backstage educational program. I don't know if you knew that, but it's one of the most efficient to build in 10 days little professionals. And we launched them in theaters after, et cetera, et cetera. But back to the healing thing, you asked me how do we get those people. The first thing was they were a friend. The second thing, they felt the love and they felt the encouragement and they were renewed and rejuvenated from here. And that's very important because that's part of our identity. And then we do raise money also and give them a job, So we do, and we have, specifically during COVID last year, we have created about 80 jobs in the arts. Despite all odds, and as you know, I don't know if you knew that the drive-in opera at formerly, Blueprint, formerly Tech City parking lot was actually second in the world drive-in presentation of a live performance of opera and first in the U.S. We were the first from our ground, from Ulster County. We're the first to present this innovative solution while all theaters were closed. So, you asked me, how do we get them here?
Yeah.
The superstars, they come with a very open spirit.
Okay, yeah, congratulations to you all again on that. I mean, it's amazing what you can accomplish. I mean, first in the U.S. It's incredible.
Again, it's a team effort. You guys were, last year I remember, we were almost talking daily to make this happen. You've been instrumental to...
And you made it happen.
We made it happen. We did it as a team, and I think the community, what you might not have known, because now we have not had the opportunity to insist, and I take this opportunity to do it here. The whole community of the performing arts. What happened last year when we did that drive-in live performance in August, in the midst of COVID, when everybody was depressed, when there was no hope, when artists were, losing their sanity because they couldn't feed their family because it's a job. People forget that it's a job, and we lost for a year and a half our ability to make money, as artists, as performers, including myself. You create so much, and I'm talking Fran and you, Rick, and Lisa also was very instrumental last year, Lisa Berger, so I'm excited that she comes online and I can tell her all this. But you helped us created so much impact and so much hope, so much that companies like San Diego, San Francisco have done driving after us. And a lot of people got inspired by this act. We thought we were doing, what we could in our little corner as of an act of resilience. But the impact of this action has been national. And in the arts, everybody had their eyes turned towards us. A lot of people came from New York to see what the heck was happening in Kingston. What are they doing? A drive-in? And there's so much innovation that came into this project of last year. Sound integration, the covering the entire parking with a grid of sound where you can listen to the music, the live performance on the radio, but also open your windows and have it through the PA, and there's no delay, and and the distance of the cars do not affect the quality of the sound. That was a complete technological innovation. We innovated with the protocols of COVID-19 safety. We were one of the first to apply some kind of protocols backstage, so we innovated with the virtual reality bits that we present in the whole volumetric. We innovated in so many areas last year out of necessity, and all this from our grounds, and all this thanks to you guys. It was a lot of hope that we gave, and it was quite something to be able to be part of a solution.
I just want to remind our listeners, you're listening to Maria Totoro from Phoenicia Festival of the Voice. And I am unfortunately going to have to sign off, but it was great to speak with you And I'll listen in for the rest of the show because I want to hear all about this year coming up.
Thank you.
Okay.
I got so much to
Good
share.
luck with it all. Thanks, Rick.
All right.
Thanks,
Fran. Have a great weekend. Thank you. So, let's talk about the move last year, and you're doing it again this year, August 27th. Correct? Do I have that date right?
That you got the first day right? Yes.
So talk about the program. It also goes August 28th. By the way, if people and August 29th, talk about. By the way, if people want to get information about the Festival of Voice, the easiest way to do it would be PhoeniciaVoiceFest.org. Talk about the program this year and when people can go and what you have scheduled.
You can. So, to answer backward your question, Rick, and thank you for giving the website PhoeniciaVoiceFest.org. People can go right now, immediately, buy their tickets there, and have all the information are there already, and we're ready for you. And I would urge people to not waste too much time because tickets are already been sold a lot, which is good. And I think the 600 cars that showed up last year are coming back, and we felt the love when we saw the first day of the ticket sales was pretty encouraging, I would say.
Good.
So don't hesitate to buy tickets right now. They're going fast, and we have because of still safety reasons, we have to be and also limitations. We want this to make it comfortable for everyone. So buy your ticket now. Otherwise, they're gonna go real fast, and they're already going fast. Because this year we're not alone. This year we have invited 2 New York City-based prestigious company, New York City Opera and Teatro Grattacielo, will be with us. This is a big, big coup for us because we admire those companies so much. They are, as I said, extraordinary, important in New York City. They have done so much for the arts per se. New York City Opera is a giant in our industry, and Teatro Grattacielo are giants in innovation in our industry too. And so they will be with us. The 27th, Teatro Grattacielo is presenting L'Amico Fritz, which is a light, beautiful, beautiful opera, more on the side of rare, in the sense that it's not the thing that we see every day. And Malena Dayan, their stage director, young female stage director, is extraordinarily creative. And what she's doing, if you guys know about the Van Gogh exhibit, the whole immersive Van Gogh exhibit, she's working on something similar to use our white tents to project, to immerse. It's going to be amazing. And I would encourage the audience to really go see that show. We reduced, at the time, I'll explain the whole program, and then I'll explain why the shows are 90 minutes. So that's for the 27th, the Friday 27th, Teatro Grattacielo will present L'Amico Fritz, which is a heritage opera. It's it's Masnani. It's the same guy that did Cavalleria Rusticana, which are for the aficionados. Those are very traditional opera,
Mm-hmm.
But it's a rare one. It's rare to present L'Amico Fritz, so already that, and the cast is stellar. They're bringing superstars. It's really great. We are presenting the festival itself, your festival. Your local guys are presenting the 28th. We're presenting Pagliacci. Pagliacci is a very known. You have like the big tenor aria. Everybody will recognize it, and it's exquisite. But I'm the stage director. I'm gonna modernize it. We're gonna do it nowadays, and we're including circus people. So we're gonna have the Westchester Circus Art coming, and they're all Big Apple artists, and they're going to be part of the storytelling.
And you're
Yes,
directing that,
an
right?
opera.
You're directing that, right?
I am directing that one, yes. And again, we have superstar Marcelina Bauscher, Eric Brooks, Troy Cook. Those are names that you would see on the stage of the Metropolitan Opera. And Maestro David Rowe will be conducting our orchestra. All those pieces will be orchestra accompanied. And the third is New York City Opera on the 29th of August. We're presenting Rigoletto. That's a big classic. It's an abbreviated version of it. It's a 90-minute version. We're all 90 minutes. And but they're bringing some lavish costumes that have been made in Europe, very faithfully to the tradition of Grand Opera. They will represent Grand Opera. So we have, the first night is a very immersive, virtual, modern, technologically savvy presentation of a traditional opera. We have this very modern, relevant, you'll see we're trying to make an audience that's never been to an opera completely connect with the art form. In our staging, it's very important for us to not be that kind of pompous, loud, irrelevant art form, but very vivid, very compelling to anyone that comes to see an opera for the first time. I think that they will completely, that you've been exposed or never exposed, I think you'll have an amazing time. And we all have super titles, so even if it's sung in Italian, everybody can read the story and understand, but there's also this magnificence, and people will be in their car or outside their car picnicking. I think Blueprint is planning on having great vendors on site, and we're going to still respect COVID-19 protocols, so people outside will be contained and separated, the right way. This is why it's important to buy the ticket now. Like this, we guarantee that you have your spot, and you'll be very safe. And so we still, abiding by those very safety savvy protocols, and so you'll be protected. We got you if you come. But you can also enjoy a glass of wine watching this incredible music coming out of the stage on our jumbotrons. Like this, you don't miss one detail. We have this great director, James Sapione, that is a switcher director, film director at Lincoln Center, who has done the work with us last year, and he doesn't miss one, important element in the opera. You'll see the face of the singers in big on the screen. He doesn't miss one expression. So if you've never been to an opera, this is really a great to discover the art form. If you have been to an opera, I think that everything you love about opera would be respected.
Well,
and so even if it's a modern presentation, even if we have circus elements, even if you'll be surrounded by artists when you're in your car, there's going to be things happening around you in the parking lot. So we're transforming this parking lot into an incredible performing art playground. I cannot say it better. And we do this in a very short time. In a week, everything is mounted. The show has happened. The rehearsal has happened. We have great partners. My God, I don't know what I would do without Jay Modiwaya at the Hampton Inns, in Ulster County, in Ulster Avenue. This guy, Jay, has been so supportive last year.
Jay is tremendous. He's always been very helpful.
Oh my God, yeah.
Generous.
The Hampton Inns, in Ulster Avenue, they rock. They're just and also Twin Gable and in Woodstock and the Ontario Mountain House in Boysville. Those people have been. There's so many wonderful supporters. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate the support of Cheryl Bowers and Stephen Hike and Samantha Iwan at Ulster Savings and Round Out. I could go on and on and on, and you know how much I love Ward Todd too, and the Chamber of Commerce, who's been so supportive like you guys have. And of course there's Lisa Berger that She coming or what? When is Lisa coming?
I don't know. Maybe she's on her way. But what I wanted to ask you is, I'm assuming that you only had one performance last year. You must have been happy with the way things went if you're expanding to 3 performances this year. Is that it?
Well, here's the thing. We were planning actually. Yes to your question. Yes, we were happy. It was hard labor. It was super stressful. I mean, as everybody can imagine, last year COVID, everybody was under duress, and for us with no money, squeezing everything we could to just create hopes and do it, continue resilience. It was an act of. It was a miracle. It was nothing short of a miracle. And it was a people affair, I would say. I mean, again, I cannot be thankful enough for you, for Lisa, for Fran, for Ward. It's been, and Congressman Delgado was wonderful also, and Kevin Cahill, of course. Assemblyman Kevin Cahill, always. Can I just say something about Assemblyman Kevin Cahill? He just, we just purchased, finally, our first home of the Festival of the Voice in Phoenicia. Thanks to him. Yes, this is, we bought the Wesleyan Church in town and the parsonage next door. This is our office. We have great expectations for this building of doing more concerts during the year. We needed a home, and thanks to Assemblyman Cahill, we have a home. We're fixing it. It takes a lot of fixing, but the whole community got together to do that. It's wonderful. I hope you guys will come and visit, and anyone that comes by Phoenicia should stop by at our office on 22 Main Street. It's fun.
I've seen the photos on your Instagram page, and I see you. Maria's very persuasive, so she's never a problem getting people to volunteer and do hard labor. So, it looks like a great space.
I wish I have that power, Rick, but it's really the cause. People have taken ownership on that festival. The community has, every day I am astonished by the generosity of people and how, I'm yesterday, I give you an example. I'm in the new office upstairs, and someone passed Maria, and I'm like, and I didn't know who that was. I was in a meeting. I go down, and there's 2 paintings on the table that someone decided to donate, and I'm like,
fantastic.
So, people, it's their place, and it has to be the people's place. It has to be a community place, an artistic hub. We hope to create this vibe, and it's easy because everybody's an artist in Ulster County. Commissioner Hine was used to say, this is like the county where there's the most artists by square footage. So it's true. And so everybody kind of took ownership. The whole town, Rob Stanley, all of the town executives there this is their festival more than me. So it's easy for them. It's easy for me to find goodwill,
Well, we have. We're going to take a break, Maria. I have a couple more questions I want to ask you about, particularly the one you're directing. It sounds like it's going to be really Pagliacci, some of the things that you're doing to modernize it, and then I want to talk a little bit about, the future of the Festival of Voice. If you're planning on going back to Phoenicia next year, and some other questions. So we're going to take a break now, and we'll be back in a couple minutes.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
Central Hudson reminds you, when you're doing yard work, safety matters. If you use a ladder, be aware of overhead electric lines, including the service wire that runs to your house. Even wooden ladders can conduct electricity with dangerous results. And be very careful if there are electric lines above or near a swimming pool, and you're working with skimmers, brooms, or other long-handled tools. Central Hudson wishes you a safe summer.
As the world faces the challenges of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, Lions recognize that kindness matters now more than ever. And Lions and Leos are finding ways to continue to serve our communities, including ordering food delivery for healthcare workers, holding story time for children online, and providing surgical masks to medical professionals and first responders. Empowering us to do more, Lions Clubs International Foundation has provided nearly $2.5 million in grant funding for COVID-19 relief. And that support continues to grow. For more than 100 years, in times of need, Lions always find a way to help those around them. And after we emerge from this, we will be stronger than ever. Visit lionsclubs.org to learn more.
Long ago, you wouldn't think of galloping on a horse while doing calligraphy, and you wouldn't have attempted to ride your bike while typing a letter. Yet you think you can safely operate a multi-ton vehicle while texting? Behind the wheel is no place to multitask. If you want to BRB, drive now and text later. Lives depend on it.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Hi, my name is Jackie Lovezzo. I'm from Lake Katrine, and I support the Kingston Community Radio because it is an invaluable resource to the community and its residents.
This programming is brought to you by the Friends of Kevin Cahill. As a strong advocate of local broadcasting, Assemblymember Cahill urges you to support Kingston Community Radio with your time and donations. Your contributions keep KCR vital and on the air at FM 92.5, AM 920, and on the web at mykcr.org. Please join Assemblymember Cahill and send your gifts of $10, $25, or more to Kingston Community Radio, Post Office Box 4364, Kingston, New York 12402. Together, let's keep KCR alive.
It's Rick Remsnyder back at lovely Friday morning. We're here with Maria Toto of the Phoenicia International Festival of Voice. I'm not going to try to pronounce Piace again. I got it right one time.
No, it was perfect. You did it like perfectly. The community, the Ulster County Italian American Foundation would be so proud of you.
Yeah, good. I want to take you back 3 or 4 years. Since we got another half hour, we can reminisce about anything we want, right?
Oh my God. Yes. Oh my God. That's not enough. I mean,
yeah.
A week with you.
So I was, like I had mentioned previously before you were on the air, and I was talking with Fran that I had attended 3 or 4 shows, and so you always have somebody up there, a politician. I know you've had former county executive Mike Hine. I think you had former Congressman Chris Gibson. You had a number.
Everyone.
Yeah.
They all knew. We had Niska. We had a representative of the governor. We had everybody has been so supportive. We had
Gavin Landry,
Mark Wilson.
Yeah.
Remember Mark Lee Wilson and exactly and Scott Levy. I never know if it's Levi or Levy. I apologize, French, But we, Ross Levy, so what am I saying? Ross. And everybody has been so supportive because, again, it's like what we were saying earlier. They understand the importance economically of, and War Todd, also President of the Chamber, who has a direct observation like you had, and like Lisa had now, a direct understanding of the numbers. It's clear, it's that you see what art brings in an area. You see how it transforms economically an area, what kind of, engine the economy we are when we put a show. All of a sudden there's so much dovetailing. People go to our restaurant, they go to our shops, and they go to our hotels. And so, there was, I know we have the support of the businesses in Phoenicia and around, and up to Kingston because it is extraordinarily impactful. This is what I served at the I still serve in the tourism office board of director, and I have served at the board of directors of the chamber. My place was there because I was representing an impact economically. You know, I mean, when I say I mean, of course, the festival and the arts, the performing arts. So it is a reality. This is a fact. We transform economically, we transform intellectually, we transform emotionally. It is a transformative force that should be nurtured. We saw what happened when you closed theaters in New York City. We saw what happened to everything that was fed by the arts in New York City: restaurants, transportation, hotels. We saw how, many of the industries that feed thousands of millions of people collapse when the arts shut down. And we saw, I repeat, I cannot even imagine what we would have become in the quarantining and being locked down without a book, without TV, without music, without entertainment, without the escape that the arts provide. I think we would have seen a much more aggressive population, a much more depressed population, unless, we've been much less bad shape than we are. So that's what we do as artists. It's very funny, Rick. People forget that because most people, when we go to a show, we want to, we want to escape. This is for entertainment. Therefore, we forget that the people that are on stage are professional, that are feeding their family. It's a job. They're feeding their family with what they do, and people often forget that this is a real industry where there are people, working hours that some other people can have that escape, have that service, have that transformation. It was painful for me to, when Hamilton was showing their show on TV for free last year, there was a post on Facebook that was saying, just remember that in a week from this moment, most of the people behind the camera on stage will not be able to pay their rent, and they won't be able to. And another thing that people don't understand is that we are very seldom paid by W-2s, so we pay by 1099, so you can't really get unemployment, when you are an artist. No, it's not for everyone. Some can, but not the majority. So we had very little resources last year. This is why I'm so grateful to Governor Cuomo right now, who's putting all those this money in his effort towards the arts. And and specifically the non-for-profit, because we all know that arts is mostly at 80% governed by non-for-profit. So it's very, it's very beautiful what is happening right now. The acknowledgement that we as an industry are important. That has been finally, this recognition is finally very healing for all of us that have suffered in the arts tremendously. And, most people had to leave New York City, could not afford to keep their home. Some of my colleagues had to take office jobs, meaning they were not qualified, because when you have a PhD in music and you work 12 to 16 hours, because let's face it, who would go, and I had a conversation actually with Mike Hine about it recently, who would go to a doctor with the expectation that he's like, oh, okay, it's so-so. I'm going to go to that doctor. He's so-so, but I'm still going to go there. You want the best when you go somewhere. And when you go see a show, you want to see the best. So in order to provide the best to you and provide the entertainment that you paid for, that you want, it means that those people on stage are working 12 to 16 hours a day. This is a real job. This is a dedication. This is not, there's this fantasy perception that artists are having fun. It's a hobby. No, that's the audience. The artists work with extraordinary discipline, dedication, faith, rejection, There's so much PTSD and on emotional level in the life of an artist. It sounds, all the arts, they're foo-foo. People are foo-foo in the arts. That's not the reality. This is the perception of happiness and joy and quality and excellence. It's given to that you, the audience, can heal, that you can be transformed, that you can be encouraged, that you can be inspired and go back to your daily life with that sparks of inspiration that makes you do what you do the best. That's what art does. And this is, take away art in our society and we are not much different than animals. So,
well, a lot of that, and you understand this, is accomplished by your lobbying efforts. I know that you've lobbied the governor's office. You've met with, and they've actually come down to the shows. The head of I Love New York, the marketing firm for the state, Gavin Landry and Ross Levi, and they've been very supportive throughout the years. Correct?
Absolutely, and this is because they know the importance of the arts. They understand what culture, you can't, how can the brain grow without being nourished with this, inspiration is what push everyone to do anything. You need inspiration when you're a doctor. You need inspiration when you're a lawyer. You need inspiration when you're a student. You need inspiration in all area of any businesses. You need the respite. And beauty is healing. Beauty is, there is, I can go on and on about the necessity of being exposed to beautiful things, wherever level, wherever beautiful things that make you think, that make you cry, that make you feel your emotions. That's what triggers your humanity. You take those things away, and we're not we would miss tremendously, and I don't think we could sustain existence without that kind of influence of the arts in general. There's a misconcept, and yes, COVID gave me the opportunity, Rick, to advocate for my colleagues and myself and what we do. People think, the festival, they're putting shows together. But what they don't necessarily see, and I had to explain, and I'm taking the example of the festival, but it's really what every single of my colleagues are going through that are in the arts. I had great conversations with Myra Blashin, with Joe Concrow about all those things. Joe is being amazing. It's super supportive too, by the way. And Myra too. With, the discussion we had, where that, again, there's a misconcept about what an artist is, what the arts are, and the impact it really has in our society. And the people, most people don't think about it because it's a secondary, it's not, we are so plunged in our lives, we're so surrounded with artistic decisions. The way you wear your clothes, the way you decorate your home, the radio, the music you listen to the radio, and the shape of your car, all those are artistic decisions. At some point, there's a man or woman that had a vision, and an artistic vision, an aesthetic vision. You take those things, people don't realize this, but I have to say that when you start explaining, people are very receptive because it touches all of us. It is, and COVID gave me the opportunity to advocate this way because people were very, very low. Everybody needed comfort. And guess what? In moments of crisis, in moments of wars, in moments of pandemic, in the history of humanity, when things went wrong, artists picked up the slack, always. And this is when, just go talk to the violinists in the concentration camps in Auschwitz, the people that took their voice singers that just start bursting in song to when the Titanic was sinking, the musicians start playing.
Right.
It's always, and this is, this is where we make sense. In moment of crisis, artists will be the ones leading the way.
Well,
and
you're
mirroring society, and
You're 100% right. And the thing, I mean, it would have been very easy for you to take a hiatus last year, and I'm glad you didn't, because you were one of the very few, entertainment, probably the only entertainment other than online movies or something provided by the Woodstock Film Festival, because everything else closed down. So kudos to you and everybody else for continuing at Tech City last year. And I have to say, we are so blessed in Ulster County. I've found not only you guys at the Phoenician International Festival of Voice. By the way, this is Rick Remsnyder talking to Maria Totoro of the Phoenician International Festival of Voice. If you'd like to call in, we still have another 10, 12 minutes, 331-9255. But in my 15 years as a tourism director, I have found not only are artists and entertainers in Ulster County super talented, we don't need to go into the list of them, but whenever we needed something to help promote tourism and hospitality in our county, you guys were there, whether it would be coming to the not that I've had anything to do with this, but I know Ward Todd from the Ulster County Chamber, you would be there at 7:30 in the morning performing at one of their breakfasts. I had you guys out at the Ulster County Fair, which might not have been the grandest venue.
I sang with a llama, I remember.
Yeah. And then...
with my first duet with the llama.
Yeah, the llama, right. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, very interesting. But, when we needed a video, we reached out to the late Levon Helm, and he helped us for 4.5 minute video and donated an entire day working on it for us. And, Myra Blaustein at Woodstock Film Festival and,
Absolutely.
Chris Silva of UPAC, we could go on and on, how caring and giving and compassionate you artists are, and you're like a beacon of light in Ulster County. So kudos all to you guys.
You always knew that. And Lisa knows that too. We feel very supported, and it's wonderful that... And I was telling to Wartot when I was on the board of the chamber, I wonder how many Chamber of Commerce have actually a representative of the arts sitting in their board around the table. I said, you guys, there are all the corporations and everybody was there. And there was an acknowledgement from a pure economical perspective of the importance of the impact of the arts. And Ward made that statement, when he invited me on the board. He just, knew, like you guys, he knows what it does to an area when you inject art. It just boomed the area, and an area that was depressed is no depressed anymore. So it would be a big mistake to neglect the impact, the economical impact. Also, I mean, the healing power of the arts, and we had a president who's a doctor, Dr. Lobet. And we had, during COVID, we had access to all the information of, mentally what art does to someone. Music, what does music to someone. And I'm going to push it to tell you that, in UK, and I've offered my services, and it's still offered, for people that have suffered with COVID, because it's an upper respiratory, because it's a respiratory problem, we opera singers, this is our expertise. And so in UK, they have combined opera singers with former COVID-19 patients. And opera singers' technique has helped some COVID-19 patients to recover the breathing, the vocal cords usage, the diaphragm, the mechanism of this. So we've been helping doctors. And I'm absolutely open. I have said this to many people. I am absolutely open to collaborate with whomever needs. Free, I'll do it for free. If some people are listening here and they have suffered, and they want to try this experimental approach, we're not doctors, but we're expert in breathing, and we're expert in the usage of the upper respiratory system, and so use us. That's another way that also, I don't know if you knew, Rick, but most of the opera house and most of the theaters, when we were lacking masks and respiratory devices, the workshop of the opera houses start to build respiratory devices that are sent to hospital, and the workshop, the costume workshop of the opera, because they were closed, we start sending masks away too. Minnesota Opera have sent, I don't know, they took I don't know how many million of masks have been sent in the U.S. to the hospital because of opera companies. That was an immediate reaction too. So, I mean, I just hear me again about the relevance of art, and as far as us, relevance in Ulster County, we, people see the frou-frou aspects of the festival, but what they don't see is how we take kids out of the street, put them in our backstage, give them an education through, and this is open, by the way. Anybody that wants to send us a young man or woman or anyone that wants to work backstage, we'll give them the training of their life, and then they can go and get a job into backstage, technical
That's great.
skills.
How do they get in touch with you, Maria? What's the easiest way?
Through the website.
Phoenicia Voice.
Go, on our website, phoeniciavoicefest.org.
Yep. And there's also ticket information there. Before I forget, tell me the dates again, and how much is it for cars?
It's so cheap. So the dates are from August 27, 28, 29.
Yep.
We have New York City Opera, Teatro DePetrillo with us. We're presenting opera that you're going to absolutely love in a way you're going to absolutely love because you're immersed and it's relevant and it's compelling. So come have your glass of wine with us there. And the tickets range from $50 per car. So if you want to be 6 in your car, you can. You're still paying $50. It ranges from $50 to $200 per car, and of course the 200s are more like the front rows. It's very, very easy to look at the chart in the website, again, phoeniciavoicefest.org.
Well, that's very reasonable.
There's 3 tiers of ticket price, so it's between those two.
For what you're getting, that's a great price, and I encourage people to go. And if it's $50 a carload, they won't have to do what I used to do in college to avoid. They would charge you per person. We used to have a couple guys sneak into the trunk of the car.
That's right.
You don't need to do that.
No, you don't have to be in your car, in your gown or your tuxedo and get out of the car now.
Yeah.
And of course, there's no gown or tuxedo requested, but if you want to dress up for the opera and dress up your car, we loved it. Last year, we had people dressing up their car. It was an event. They were coming with, they cleaned the car, they made it shine, and it was a real event. It was so joyful. We're expecting the same joy on the 27th, 28th, and 29th of August. At formerly known Tech City Blueprint parking lot.
Yep.
Briefly,
Maria, we didn't tell the listeners. Why did you go to Tech City this year and last year? What was the?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, and this was something I needed to also explain to our town, Phoenicia, which is our hometown, and we are not going away from Phoenicia, but what happened is in April this year, 2021, when we had to make a decision of what are we doing, we were planning to go back to Phoenicia in our field, which is our real bucolic identity. This is us. This is what we like the most. And it's home. Phoenicia is home. So we were planning to go back home with COVID-19 safety protocols in place, and we were happy. But then we heard that the CDC and Governor Cuomo issued in April this tapping at 500 people outdoors. So it became impossible for us economically to present the festival for basically 400 people, because we were talking about 500 people total, including the staff and the artists, and we were about 100 people backstage. So it became impossible for us to. Plus, at the time, we did not know anything. We were talking about, how do you control vaccination, no vaccination at the gate? How do we, it became a logistical issue that we could not
sure
have the structure to embrace. So I immediately called Lisa Berger. It was actually this Lisa was very, very good at the board of tourism meeting to tell us to report the decision of the government about the security, the safety. So she reported, and immediately I called her and said, look, I think we have to make an executive decision to do again the festival at Tech City this year. And why Tech City? Because of the commitment. We had to make commitment in April. Some people don't realize that to put a festival like this, we usually do it 2 years in advance. It's a planning of 2 years in advance.
Sure.
So when we make decision in April, we're super late already. Funding-wise, everything-wise. We're like, I'm still looking for funding as we speak, and, it's in a month and a half. So we're late. But, we're doing it, of course, but April was we had to commit to our vendors, to our artists. Otherwise nothing happened. So we had to make a decision.
Sure.
And this sounded the safest.
Well,
and we knew, for having done it last year, we knew that this would, whatever state we are in with COVID, we knew that we could still do, because we did it last year in the midst of COVID. So whatever we would be in, we could still do a drive-in safely and have everybody super safe and protected, So we opted for safety.
All right. Well, Maria, we're just about out of time. I want to thank you for coming on this morning. I wish you a lot of great success. I want to say one of the highlights of my tourism career is when you had me up on stage conducting the orchestra for the Star Spangled Banner, which your husband Louis didn't warn me about until the last second, but I think it went off okay. But
anytime
you're a treat. You're a treasure. Keep on trucking, and we'll see you out in late August out of Tech City, okay?
We are so grateful for you guys. Thank you for this opportunity to share with everyone this morning. I'm grateful, and I can't wait to have all of you coming 27, 28, 29 in Tech City. See those beautiful operas we're putting together with my colleagues.
All right, Maria Todaro, thank you very much. And
Thank you.
Lawrence, a great show. Have a great weekend. And
you too. Hit them long, hit them straight, and we'll be back on Monday with Medical Monday.
Okay.
All right, have a good weekend, Rick.
Thank you.